Some years later, I met Florence. Florence, teenage war resister, 1914, 1918. Her family, very active in the labour movement. Her mother and herself, very active in the women's movement. Florence was in fact in the Women's Social and Political Union before 1914 as an early teenager. And I talked to her. Her brother was a CO. Her father, founder member of the Independent Labour Party, Trade Scout, and all the rest of it. A thorough labour, working class, radical pedigree. And I asked Florence about Huddersfield in the First World War, and she said, well, you know what she said, don't you? Yeah? Huddersfield was special. Why was it special, Florence? It was special because of the number of COs and the way we kept our campaign going throughout the war and weren't really impeded in any way. The book, Comrades in Conscience, and this is not another plug, really was an exploration of that notion that Wilf, Arthur and Florence introduced me to, that Huddersfield was special, not just because we all lived there, but because of the stance people took in the town during the First World War. If we'd only listened to what Wilf, Arthur and Florence had to say, then it would have been a story of a movement against the war, which was largely from the left of British politics, from within, if you like, the working class movement, the socialist movement and the rest. Yet once we got into the work, it was to be very clear that it was rather more than that. That one of the key characteristics of the anti-war movement in Huddersfield, as I think you'll find it is elsewhere, was that within the left there were the Wilfs and the Arthurs and the Florences, but they made common cause in their campaign against the war, and in fact in campaigning before the war against rearmament. In campaigning against conscription, and from the rest of the political spectrum of Huddersfield, they were joined by people from, understandably, the Society of Friends, the Quakers, but also from radicals within local liberalism, a very strong element in the politics and political culture of my part of the world at that time, and to some extent still today.